Gender equality can be defined as an equal distribution of power between men and women, as well as each gender being given an equal opportunity for financial independence, personal development, and education. Women's empowerment is one of the crucial aspects of achieving the greater goal of equality and addressing this issue. However, gender issues are not focused solely on one gender alone, but more importantly, the relationship between the two in our society. People throughout the world embrace the idea of gender equality. However, at the same time, inequalities still persist in many countries. In fact, most women are likely to say that men have the better life out of the two genders.
Discrimination by sex is prohibited by Mexican and international human rights law. Also, pregnancy testing violates the Mexican federal labor laws, yet it is a common practice in Mexican maquiladoras to refuse to hire pregnant women. Pregnant, a boss will question them. They may take the women's schedule of their cycles so they can keep tabs on them. They also have them take pregnancy tests. Some corporations admitted to not employing women in order to avoid the costs of company-funded maternity benefits. In order to determine whether or not the women are pregnant, a boss will question them. They may take the women's schedule of their cycles so they can keep tabs on them. They also have them take pregnancy tests. Some corporations admitted to not employing women in order to avoid the costs of company-funded maternity benefits. Maquiladora personnel told women seeking employment that if they were pregnant, they would not be hired, and if they got pregnant, they would be fired. Human Rights Watch has documented videos of maquiladora personnel forcing pregnant women to work overtime. Sometimes they even made the women do this without pay. They never make the jobs easy for pregnant women, but give them more physical labor that is quite difficult for them. This shows that it is uncommon for people to fire pregnant women outright. Instead, they make their lives harder. These women have no way to get a job without being interrogated by maquiladora personnel, and no way to ensure a healthy, productive life.
La mujer trabajadora de la maquila entra si esta mercancía no es productiva, si no es atractiva para esta globalización, porque ya ella se empieza a defender o empieza a buscar optativas de derecho.
With that said, the sense of gender equality is non-existent in the workplaces of the maquiladoras in Mexico. This specific story tells just one of many cases of evident inequality and discrimination that still exist today.
Action to fill the existing gender gaps is being taken around many different countries, internationally and locally. The beginning of this action truly launched in the 1970s as the first international feminist movement began to gain momentum. And in 1985, gender equality had truly began to gain the global recognition it deserves. Since that time, as we are now in the present year of 2012, much progress has been made. More recently, 4 of the world's bodies, agencies, and offices merged into one to become UN Women, which became operational on January 1, 2011. The UN gives particular attention to the issue of violence against women, and the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women is observed on November 25th.
Looking at the issue of gender equality in terms of a political aspect, the share of female legislators in national assemblies has increased by 8% between 1998 and 2008, which is a huge step forward considering the fact that over the past 2 decades it had only increased by a mere 1%. In terms of education, gender equality has been reached in primary schools throughout much of the world. In conclusion, though it may take a great amount of time for good intentions on addressing and resolving the issue of gender equality, progress is surely being made. What can you personally do to act upon the issue of gender equality and women's empowerment either globally or locally?